Okay, hello everybody. I think we're live. Um, so my name is Martha Alter Hines, and I am
Hello, everybody.
really happy to
We're
be doing this
live.
with you. I'm just gonna get myself set up over here on Zoom properly. Okay. Cool. Okay. So, yes. So, welcome. And today, what I'm going to be doing, my guides asked me to do this last night. And mainly, the purpose today is to be together at the time of the new moon. So, it was very funny. Yesterday, they said, please get on YouTube tomorrow live to hold space for the new moon, specifically to channel and help everybody, help all of us, any of you who feel called to hold the earth in the original codes of existence, similar to how I channeled in the new moon video, which you can go back to and listen to. And I was thinking, in my mind, I thought that the new moon was going to be exact kind of in the middle of the night, my time. But my guide said, no, do it at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is what it is right now. And then I looked at the exact timing of the new moon, and it's going to be exact in the coming hour. So it's like they were spot on as usual. It was pretty funny. So yes, so we're coming right up to the exact new moon as we're doing this live. And so what I'm going to be doing, I want to just first bring up the the transits of the rest of January and a little peek into February to kind of do a mid-month update on the astrology in general. Because you guys seem to like the January month ahead video that I did. So this is kind of like a middle of the month version of that. Um, and then I'm just gonna hand it over to them and let them channel. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts on the astrology of today's new moon, go back to the new moon video itself. And also you can go back to the month ahead video for January if you want to hear my thoughts on the whole month of January and kind of into February and March too. And I did a channeling there also. Okay. Um, yeah, and while we are live, and actually, if you're watching the recording, I'd love to know where you're watching from, where you are in the world, and what's coming out. What are you feeling at the time of this new moon? It's a very powerful new moon. Uh, yeah, and actually, I will, before I do the channeling, I'll just kind of give a reminder. I'll show you on the chart where, um, how this lines up astrologically. In the new moon video, I also showed you the more of the 3D version of what's going on in the sky, which is pretty beautiful and amazing also. Okay, so let me just check and see. Wow, there's a lot of you live. Awesome. Great. Welcome, everybody. I love seeing you here. Okay, beautiful. Um, so I will check in with you on the live stream periodically. All right. So in the meantime, though, let me pull up the chart of the new moon. Or I mean, actually, I'm going to bring up the chart of this moment because it's basically we're coming right to that new moon. And yeah, I'll just show you a few things there. Then I will talk about the rest of January and then I'll channel. So just so you know the order, the sequence of events. Okay. All right, so here we are right this second. Right now, the moon already is at 28 degrees of Capricorn. The sun is at 28 degrees of Capricorn, but they'll be exactly together some in the next like 50 minutes-ish. And right there as well is the asteroid Estrella. So Estrella, I talked about in the new moon video a bit more. Actually, is also right there with Diana, which I didn't mention in the new moon video. But Estrella is the goddess who has the kind of the mythology around her, that she was the last of the goddesses to leave the earth, and because she was so committed to helping the humans, the earth, etc. And when she left the earth, she turned into the constellation of Virgo, or the goddess. And when she returns to the earth, she will bring back the golden age. So when I see Estrella so prominent in a chart or in a person's chart, I absolutely, I feel that energy that we are all Estrella, that we are all here be to be the golden age, if you want to call it that. We're bringing back the golden age, whatever that exactly means. But we are the bridge of earth and the divine, earth and the stars, etc. And then it's interesting that Diana is there too, because Diana, for me, Diana is also Artemis. And among other things, for me, Diana is the energetic of ourselves as the web of life. So when I have really gone deeply into Diana energy, which I've done several times because I resonate with her very strongly, um, I feel myself as I become the web of life. So I become, like, if I'm in the woods or something, I can feel the web of life of the earth, the dirt, the microbes, the trees, the birds, all the animals, all the plants, the stars, the cosmos, all as one. And yeah, so she's really, really, really strong with this new moon as well, along with Estrella. That's pretty darn beautiful. Um, and then, of course, this new moon is very close to Venus, who's about to be conjunct Pluto. So, among other things, we've got a really strong energetic here of, you could say in a stereotypical way, breaking down structures that don't work, and then bringing in structures that do work. And the new moon is also trining Uranus, which emphasizes that as well. So again, go back to the new moon video where I talk more about this, but really what my guides are bringing through is that where they're wanting my attention to be, um, there's no one right or wrong way, but they're saying rather than getting caught up in sort of external things, to really hold space for the reality that as those no longer needed structures of our own being are breaking down, which I'm feeling so powerfully in my own self, then what we really come back to is the original codes of existence, which are the ultimate building blocks of truth, of what we are here to be, right? So as we let go of things that yeah, don't serve, um, we can fall back to the original structure of what life really is, which is the codes of existence themselves. So that's what I'm going to hold space for when I channel in a minute, because that's what they really want us to be holding and being present with today. Um, great. Okay. And then really briefly, I will also bring up the major transits of um of the rest of January. Hang on. I had it up and where did it go? One second. Ah, okay. Oh, and yeah, happy birthday, Joy. Amazing. Amazing. Such a beautiful birthday. Wow. Yes, I'm just checking in with the live chat really quick here. Yeah, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. That's so wonderful. If anyone else is having a birthday, let us know. Amazing. Um, okay. All right. So yes, bringing up the no, wrong. Wrong thing. Sorry, one second. Okay, so what I'm bringing up here is this is a document that lots and lots and lots of you have in your library on my website at livingtheonelight.com. So any of you who joined the December 19th gathering that I had, there's over 500 of you, or you're in the New Earth Leadership Program, you all have this in your library. Anyway, yes. So you can access that there, and that you can actually, if you don't have it, you can buy it. But this is a very, very, very detailed, very detailed guide of the transits of 2026 that I put together. It took me literally months to do all of this, but I do this each year for myself, to help me kind of get the feeling of the year ahead. And yeah, and then I just make it available to you guys because why not, right? So yeah, it's very detailed, but so here are the major transits coming up the rest of the month. Today is January 18th, and we have that new moon in Capricorn, 28 degrees, which we just looked at. Tomorrow, the sun enters Aquarius, and Venus will be conjunct Pluto at 3 degrees of Aquarius. So, uh, yeah, we're already in that energy, but we're coming up to that. Then the next day, Mercury will have its superior conjunction with the sun, so behind the sun and also very near Venus and Pluto. Um, Venus and Mars already had their superior conjunctions with the sun just in the last on January 7th-ish. And then the gigantic, humongous transit still coming in January is Neptune will be re-entering Aries on January 26th. So that is, long time coming. That is a big, big, big transit. And then on February 13th, Saturn will be re-entering Aries also, and they will finally, finally, finally meet on February 20th at 0 degrees of Aries. So, and then also, and just the very last thing I'll say about January is that on January 27th, Mars will then be conjunct Pluto at 3 degrees of Aquarius, which again that's a strong energy. But yeah, but the month of February is one of the biggest months of the year to me astrologically by far. It's massive. It's really massive. So I'll do another month ahead video for February at the beginning of February, and I'll talk more about it then. But the big, 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 big things in February are we have the first of two eclipses that'll be on February 17th. It's a solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aquarius. And so actually, so today is a new moon, and the next new moon we have will be that solar eclipse. So we're kind of heading toward eclipse season energy. We're probably already feeling the eclipse energies. Then February 20th is going to be that Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So really big month. March also is very strong, but February is really strong, really extra strong. I would say February and June and July of 2026 are the top most powerful months astrologically. And then a close second would be March and August. Those are the big, 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 big months astrologically to me. Yeah, so we're heading toward one of those. Yeah. Okay. I think those are all the things I want to say before I channel. But let me just scan the chat really quickly and see if there's anything you're asking or anything that I can answer. Christina, you're having a birthday soon. Awesome. Oh, and there's a big solar flare. Wow. Wonderful. Can I explain the transit of February 20th? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you asked that after I just said what I said, but the February 20th transit is the Neptune Saturn conjunction. So I'll talk about that. I've talked about that in various places. I'll talk about it more in the February month ahead video. But and everybody's going to be talking about that. That's one of the biggest transits of the entire year. I would say there are two major biggest transits in 2026. It's that Saturn Neptune conjunction, um and then in June, Uranus will be squaring the nodes of the moon. So yeah, so this is huge. So in general, I would say Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries is an energetic of us being supported to come into to put into form structures of the divine, of what we have previously considered a dream, Neptune, um, but in a new form. 0 degrees of Aries is the very first degree of the entire zodiac. So it's a huge energetic shift, you could say. So like this whole concept, for example, of New Earth being a dream, being an idea, something we're working toward, um, the energy is already here, but I would say that February 20th timing, I'll be really curious to see how we are feeling then and past then, because that energetic is like, no, now we really, really start. Although I personally already feel like that energy has already come and gone. Um, but I bet you there's going to be just even a deeper sense of, yeah, new structures being really evident in our own being more than anything. Um, okay. Do you need to be sitting still for the channeling? No. No, do whatever feels good. Awesome. Yeah, and you can always come back to it, of course, whenever you want. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I will now do the channeling. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. It's awesome. I love doing these lives with you guys. I love feeling the community of you. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Amazing. Um, Great. Okay. All right. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would love it if you do. Yeah. Okay. Again, thank you for being here. Okay. Okay, hello and welcome. So we are here as beings, as energetics, really actually beyond time and space. We are an energy that holds those codes of the origin of existence, even before what you could call an origin. Very difficult to put into human words. But we're an energy of, maybe you could call it the void, the time before time, the energetic before space, before the beginning. And So in other videos, you may have already experienced certain versions of this energetic, but today, at the timing of this new moon and beyond, anytime you're present with this is meant to be a place and a reminder where you can come back to this holding. So it's like you can come back to a reset point. Anytime you are feeling a need to move beyond your current feelings or whatever's happening in the world, it's like a version of energetic hygiene that we highly recommend doing on a regular basis. And like Martha was saying, the structures of the world, often associated with that Capricorn or Saturnian energetic, in the time of great forgetting have felt fixed or have gotten a bit stagnant in certain ways. And there's been an assumption that those ways of being and those structures are needed to be only one way, or there aren't even possibilities beyond the way that they are. But on an energy level, the ultimate reality is infinity itself. So the ultimate truth of what that Capricorn or Saturn energy really is, if we think of them as being associated with structure, is the original codes of existence, which are really infinity. So part of the time of great remembering is having a way that you are held so that you can, on an energy body level, far beyond even what your mind maybe conceives of, on an energy body level, to feel, to experience, and to be able to reset back to those original codes of existence, even before there was light, even before there was anything. And then really, once you reset back to those original codes, you can just relax and trust and know that the codes themselves will do, quote unquote, the work. And your only real need is to bring yourself back to the opportunity to be held in that reset point. So what we're going to be doing today is giving an opportunity for you to be held in that kind of a reset point with the original codes of existence. And then we're also going to support you and all of us in holding the earth and all of existence in those original codes of existence. Because because you have chosen to be here, that is an indicator that almost certainly you are a holder of these codes. And one of your major roles right now is to be like an anchor of the remembering that those codes even exist. Because as you embody them and that reality, even when you're walking around going to the grocery store, it's like you walk around as a mm, if you imagine you become like an emanation of those original codes. Like you become like a walking, talking presence that inevitably changes the cells and the molecules and the atoms around you just by existing. And it helps remind everything else, all the other particles of existence, of the truth of those original codes of existence as well. Really, it reminds them of who they are, ultimately, who we all are. It's like bringing fresh air back into a room that's had its windows and doors closed for eons. That room maybe even forgot that what fresh air was or that fresh air existed. Something along those lines. Okay, so in other words, thank you so much for being here, because this is not only for you, although it is certainly for you personally, but you play a very powerful and important, needed, crucial role for the world and for existence just by being here and by doing this together. Okay, so taking a long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to feel and all of what we're about to say is only with your permission, only with your invitation. So we're going to assume that you are giving that permission and that invitation. But if you're not for any reason, then that is completely fine. And nothing we say will apply for you. But we're going to speak as though you have given that permission and continue to give that permission and that invitation. And at any time, if you don't want to, that is absolutely your choice. And you do not need to engage in any way that doesn't feel right for you. Okay. So taking a long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to feel yourself now held in a bubble of golden light. So if you listen to the new moon video where Martha was channeling there, in that channeling, you were guided to be holding an orb of golden light. And now we invite you to feel yourself enveloped in that golden orb of light. Maybe you feel it like a golden web chrysalis, or however it's arising for you is absolutely perfect. And as you're in this golden bubble or chrysalis of light, we invite you to imagine now that we are supporting you to just float all the way up through the atmosphere of Gaia, of the earth. And the atmosphere of the earth, of course, also is like a golden orb of light holding this beautiful being of Gaia. Now we invite you to imagine your bubble of light floating up, holding you gently, powerfully, and you're floating right up out of the atmosphere of Gaia. And you keep going, keep floating up So you can now see the whole solar system with the star called the sun at the center of this solar system, all the planets, all the asteroids, the Kuiper Belt, the Oort cloud. Keep going, rising way up and beyond the solar system. Now you can see the whole Milky Way galaxy, and you keep going all the way so that you now can see infinite galaxies. And you keep going, floating higher and higher, all the way until you reach the membrane of the time-space continuum. And imagine yourself just gently, the bubble of light holding you, protecting you, and you keep moving up and out of the membrane of the time-space continuum until you pop out into the void. So the space beyond time, beyond space. So here in the void, there is nothing and there is everything. And we invite you to feel the beauty and the deep ultimate peace of this void. You're completely safe. You're totally held. This is really ultimate truth of source itself. And here you can imagine and feel that perhaps that bubble of light stays around you, or maybe it dissipates for a time. And we invite you, if and as it feels right, to come and lie down on a very special, beautiful bed or hammock that is a special, magical place where you can essentially let yourself feel suspended and held, deeply held, and where everything and anything of the time-space continuum that no longer serves you can just go. So again, taking another long, slow, deep breath. If and as it feels right, we invite you to lie down in this beautiful, magical, completely safe kind of hammock bed, however it arises for you. And we invite you then to invite in and feel a beautiful, special, magical spirit team of the void, of the beings like us, who are specifically here to hold space for you in the void today. And anytime you feel called to come back to this place. So you can feel these magical beings only with your invitation and your permission, creating a sacred circle around you lying on this bed or this hammock. Feel how you are deeply held, deeply known from before there was time, before there was space. And you can feel that these beings can see and they know that you as a spirit, you as a soul, you as a beautiful masterpiece of the divine, of Source itself, you have chosen to incarnate in the time-space continuum, likely infinite times, over and over and over and over again, through eons, in all different configurations. And at this time of the time of great remembering, one of the crucial steps, you could say, is letting it all go. In particular, letting go any and all structures of those journeys through the time-space continuum that don't serve, that aren't who you actually ultimately are on the divine level, on source level, and that are not of service to you in this moment, that aren't of the essence of you. The essence of you is really actually just source itself. So you can feel as you're lying in this magical bed hammock, sort of canopy, that any and all structures of your eons in time and space that are no longer needed. It's like the material of the hammock holding you just has a magical quality that supports those structures to just go gently, very gently, and very completely, powerfully, immediately, and whatever timing is exactly right for you, but it can absolutely happen instantaneously. You don't need them. You don't need those structures. So they can go. And you maybe even feel this in your bones. You might feel it in your cells. You might feel it in your organs. You might feel it in your heart. It might be a very physical feeling. Just remember, it's all with gentleness. If you feel any discomfort of any kind, you just ask for this to be very gentle and for soothing, healing energy to be holding any places of discomfort at all. And taking another long, slow, deep breath. You can continue to feel the structures leaving that are no longer needed. And we encourage you to come back to this repeatedly. This is actually something that Martha has been doing every single day for many years. So it's not a one-time thing. It's a continual, repeated need to, as a being of the time-space continuum, it's a really important practice to be held so you are not only in your mind remembering, but in your whole being getting a chance to be reminded and held in the reality that you are actually source itself. And on an energy body level, you can have a break, you can have a rest, and you can let go of any and all energies that don't serve from moment to moment to moment to moment. And certainly, at least every day, if that feels right and calls to you. But that's an option, and that is what Martha does every day. Okay, and then again, please stay here as long as you want, as long as you need. Come back to this hammock in the void anytime. And if and as it feels right and you feel ready, we will take you to part 2 of what we're going to do today. And there'll be a third part as well. So now, as you feel ready to leave that hammock, we invite you now to feel as we are, again, if you give permission and if you give the invitation, feel us now as we lift you up even higher, all the way up until you reach a point where you are being held in a beautiful and powerful beam of light, light of Source itself, directly from Source itself. And this powerful beam of light is shining gently but so powerfully on your whole being, like little laser beams through every cell of your being, every particle of your being, reminding and reigniting your whole being into those codes of those original codes of existence. So again, the codes of existence before there was time, before there was space. So you can imagine this sort of like being as though you're in a car wash and you're a car. That's a little bit of a ridiculous analogy, but you can feel the beams of light, like the codes of the original codes of existence being like very powerful but gentle laser beams, cleaning and cleansing and bringing back into balance, radical balance and harmony, every nook and cranny of your body, your being, your emotional self, every part of you. And maybe you start out with the beam of light cleaning the back of you, and maybe as you feel ready, you can turn around and open up your arms and feel the beam of light clearing and cleaning the front side of you, all of your chakras, especially maybe your heart area. Again, this is very gentle, deeply loving, and only being done with your permission and invitation. You can feel how this is perhaps like a ultimate divine shower, helping you, supporting you to just let go of anything from any lifetime, any existence, your own lifetimes, all of the rest of the collective lifetimes, existences, no longer needed. You do not, please do not carry it anymore. It's not your job, not your responsibility, and actually ultimately is a disservice to existence if you carry it in any sense. Just let it go back to source. Its sources. It is source, so it's not even quite right to say it's the responsibility of source, but it just is source. Just let it go right back to where it belongs, which is source itself. Let it compost back into light back into love, back into where it came from. Anything and everything from every lifetime, every existence of you and of the all that is. And just enjoy this shower, bath. Could have it, maybe it will feel playful. And again, stay here as long as you want, as long as you need, and come back to this divine shower anytime you like as well. Okay, and now, as we're moving into the moments, the minutes of the exact new moon at 28 degrees of Capricorn, although this will apply anytime you're hearing this, anytime you're present with this, and anytime you feel called to come back to this. This moment is a microcosm, kind of like a holographic experience that has a certain kind of vibrational medicine, like a homeopathic remedy or a flower essence that is perfect for you anytime it calls to you. It's not important that you're listening to it right at the moment it's being live streamed or channeled. But in this moment, we are coming into the moments of the exact new moon. And so now we would like to take you into the third and final part of what we're here to do together and hold space for with you and as you and for you. So now that you have released a huge portion of things that no longer serve, and you've been cleaned and cleared, if and as it feels right and you feel ready, we invite you to imagine and feel yourself as the massive, beautiful, divine soul being that is ultimately who you really are. So you might experience yourself like an angel, an archangel, anything, your actual soul being. Feel your actual soul being coming alive here and now. And it might manifest in infinite different ways. There's no one truth about what you look like as a soul or anything along those lines. You might experience yourself in one way in this moment and a different way in another moment. It's all perfect. But one absolute definite truth about you is that you are the divine, you are source itself, and the being that you are is ultimately source, and you are the power of existence itself. So taking a long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to feel how you've really cleared so much from all those lifetimes. You've been cleaned. And we invite you to feel yourself rising up as that beautiful, powerful, divine soul being that is you. And we're going to speak as though you're still outside of the time-space continuum. If you find yourself somewhere else, that's great as well. Perfect. You will find yourself in the exact perfect location where you are precisely needed. But assuming you are still outside of the time-space continuum, we invite you to imagine and feel all of us all around the globe, literally, but in spirit soul form. Imagine all of us, hundreds, thousands, millions, infinite beings of all of us, all of you, rising up and linking arms, you could say, but linking into a massive, powerful, beautiful, divine, sacred circle all around the entire chrysalis of the time-space continuum. And imagine that you individually and then all of us collectively are holding the entire time-space continuum, that whole womb of the time-space continuum. And we are each emanating and being, glowing with those original codes of existence. And there's nothing actually you need to do to be glowing in that way as the original codes of existence. It just simply is what you are and who you are, because you've consciously chosen to release, let go, and come into that sort of shower you just experienced. And now you just be. And taking another long, slow, deep breath. We invite you to, all of us together, on the count of 3. Again, imagine that we are all in this massive sacred circle, holding all of time, all of space, every dimension. That includes the earth in every iteration of her being, including the present moment, what you're experiencing as the present moment, but beyond that as well. And on the count of 3, we invite you to, in whatever way you feel called, to just be those original codes of existence. And you might feel called to just be that silently. You might feel called to emanate a sound or a song, or perhaps the sound of Om, or maybe there's a kind of toning or singing, or some other way you feel called to be present and holding the time-space continuum in this way. Your body and your being and those original codes of existence know precisely what is right and what is yours to do. So whatever that is perfect. So again, on the count of 3, we just invite every single one of us to consciously be those codes, those original codes of existence, holding all of time, all of space, with powerful, infinite, ultimate, original, divine love, and the reality of what existence really is. Okay. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. And we invite you to just relax and Notice anything arising, anything you're experiencing, which could be a whole range of things, including possibly nothing, quote unquote. Whatever it is absolutely perfect. We just invite you to feel that these original codes of existence as you are like a song, are like a calling of remembering throughout all of time and all of space, like a clarion call of ultimate love through eons, even in times where there has been or continues to be suffering. It's like a ultimate song of powerful love that just is. And taking another long, slow, deep breath. We invite you to imagine now that song emanating and that vibration emanating from the original codes of existence as you, surrounding the whole time-space continuum, then waking back up through every dimension, through every time, through every space, every place, waking back up the original codes of existence of everything else. Sort of like when Kelly Chladni begins her channeling and Raphael says, hello, and then others respond, hello, similar to that. So as you're holding those original codes of existence, it's like a hello. And as it spreads through all of time and all of space, everything else gets the opportunity to respond back, hello. And we invite you to stay with this again as long as you want, as long as you need. Come back to it individually, as a group, as a small group, as a large group, anytime. I'll just give you a few more minutes just to be present in this way before we close. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you infinitely. This is one of the most powerful things that the world is needing right now. The effects of being present in this way might logically make no sense, but the effects are far beyond what the human mind can probably even conceive of at this moment. So just thank you. Deeply thank you. It cannot be emphasized enough how important you even just holding this energetic literally is for the planet. Every single one of you. So happy, 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 blessed new moon in Capricorn near Pluto and Venus and Estrella and Diana and Mercury and Mars and so much more. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being you, precisely exactly you. And we'll see you again soon. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Yes, so please stay with this as long as you want, as long as you need. Of course, come back to it anytime. If you joined us partway through, please enjoy the whole video anytime. And if and as it feels helpful to come fully back to your body in the present moment, you could rub your hands on your arms, rub your hands on your legs, bring your hands to your heart. And so it is. Amen. Amazing. That was a amazing way to be with you all for the new moon. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to this chat for one more minute. If there's anything you want to share, feel free, either in the live chat right now, or if you're watching this later, comment in general. It's just really wonderful to be with you all, feel you all, just really feel, it's just, yeah, the, ay, ay, ay. Again, kind of like what they're saying at the end, the logically, might be confusing why this matters so much, but I can just feel it in my own system and in my own life. Yeah, absolutely. So, so powerful that we are all doing this together in our own ways. Um, Wonderful. Okay. Beautiful. Yay. Just seeing all of you here. Wonderful. Yay. Okay. Amazing. Please continue to share in the comments on the actual video. And also, I will post this in the free community. If you haven't joined the free community, it's at livingtheonelight.com. It's a wonderful, very supportive place. And I will, yeah, I'll post this video there, and you can feel free to comment and share there as well. And yeah, more soon. I will do I'll do a full moon video for there's gonna be a full moon in Leo coming up. I will do a video for that, and then I will do a month ahead video for February. I have a couple of really wonderful interviews coming up too next week. So yeah, things happening. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would love that. And um, yeah, I'll say more later, but I have very exciting news actually about the astrology class that I'm starting in March, which is that the gist is that Heather Ensworth, Melanie Reinhart, Julia Balaz, and Chris Skidmore are all going to do live guest workshops for that, for those of you joining that journey. I don't really like to call it a course even, but yeah, and I just am in the middle of revising the whole sign up page because I realized it was confusing. So yeah, if you're curious about that, go to I'll put the link here for that, but you can go to my website and look at that. It's a year-long journey where we travel to all the planets. Develop our own relationship with them. It's very different from a regular astrology course. So it's really about the journey of it, the experience of it, the healing of it, and coming into direct relationship with the cosmos. So anyway, I'll say more soon, but you can sign up, you can look at it, you can get a sense of it. Yeah, and it's going to have these amazing, amazing people. Heather Ensworth, Melanie Reinhardt, Julia Balaz, Chris will all be doing live events with us for that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, okay, thank you all again so much for being here. Happy, happy, happy new moon. It was very beautiful. I definitely want to continue doing these lives with you because this growing collective way of being together is just, yeah, really important. And so thank you for being part of it. And I will see you again soon.